right, welcome to the show. More shocking footage of the Philadelphia plane crash. We're going to be talking about that today. Got some more crazy stuff for you. But before we get started, I wanted to see how everyone is doing. What did you guys figure out over the last show that we did yesterday? Still thinking it's a missile crash? Is it a plane crash? What's going on? Again, if you have any footage, I know there's a few of you out there that have been sending me. Cindy Ray sent me some great stuff, man. Just great stuff. So if you have some footage that they're not showing us or perhaps isn't directly available, then just email me. Or if you have thoughts, just email me at blackswandiary2022. And I'm already seeing the emails coming in from pilots, from co-pilots, from people that have controlled towers, that have flown planes, have flown Black Hawk helicopters, have flown Lear jets, all kinds of stuff. And I've also been talking with my brother-in-law as well, who actually owns an airport. So I have some great insight from him as well, talking about how crazy it is that there's so many moving parts that it's actually more shocking that there isn't more stuff like this happening. So, and usually you can say most of this stuff is due to human error, but in this case, this is a bit of an enigma here. We have a Lear jet that took off from an airport and then crashed. So far, at all accounts, within 40 seconds. Some people might say it took a little bit longer. Some people say it took a little bit less time. But we're going to go through that. We're going to go through it, and we're going to have a look at it. Is this a black swan event? I'm kind of leaning on that way, leaning on that direction. Why? Well, you have to have 3 criteria for a black swan event to be a black swan event. The first one is it has to be world changing. Is this a black swan event today? Not yet, but you got to give it time for it to simmer. So it has to change the way the world, for example, in this case, the world of aviation, it has to change that world overnight. Just like 9/11, we didn't feel the side effects of it right away because all of the first responders were rushing to the buildings. We didn't know what was going on until the next day, 2 days, 3 days later, and then all of a sudden we're hearing terrorist attack, all this stuff, and here's what the government's doing, and they're going to be locking the doors so that the pilots, nobody can go into the cockpit. They're also going to be adding a marshal. Like, things changed. Our world changed when it came to transportation. And the question is this going to change aviation? Like, are there going to be things that are going to be implemented to change this? Because it's already a safe industry by all standards. Like, there are protocols that everyone has to follow. And if there's a mistake made, it usually it defaults to human error. So if you can eliminate human error, well, you can have these planes fly autonomous. You don't need a co-pilot. You just need machines flying them with people on the plane. I think that's the direction that we're heading, is to have planes that fly themselves. They already probably half to 80% of the time they're flying by themselves. And you really just need a pilot to be able to monitor as they take off and land. But if they're getting in the way of that, then you can use a plane, AI on a plane, to be able to take that over. And then you should have 0 accidents, right? Because we know how that works with Tesla and all this other stuff. We know that there's never been an accident. What can go wrong when you have computers take over everything? All right, let's see here. What's going on? John F. Kennedy murder through CIA, driver of the car. Yeah, I saw that footage. It's pretty brutal. Yo, why your background so simple? It's so that you can focus on the content, brother. I don't want to overwhelm you. I don't want to overwhelm you with my background. I want you to just be able to focus on whatever it is we show on the screen and whatever it is we talk about, because there are people that have ADHD and they can't focus. They're too busy looking at what's going on in the background. So I appreciate the idea that you're saying that my background is so simple. If a third event happens and the points on the map form a perfect triangle, then this is 100% planed. Planed. That's a good one if that's a subtle hint at a joke. Planed. Or if you mean planned, then yeah. Like when does an attack become an attack? Is it the first time, the second time, or the third time? Definitely simmering. Definitely. Let's see here. What else do we have? The world is crazy. Feels like it. 2 Peter 3:10, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt away with fervent heat. That's a good verse of the day. Let's see here. What else? I cannot get banned at this time. Let's see here. Yeah, this is interesting. Why? Because the creator does know a lifespan of his creating a product. Not sure what you're saying, but that's okay. That's okay. You know, sometimes we speak gibberish from time to time. It's okay. It's all right. Okay, so let's jump into the transcript, I guess. I guess that's the best way to say it. And this is from Learjet, or this is from Vass Aviation. This guy does some great work, so subscribe to his channel. I've subscribed to his channel, so we're going to watch the transcript, basically, the audio of the plane just before it crashed. So let's just have a little look. Let's have a little gander. Let's see what's going on, and then I'm going to show you some shocking footage. It's going to blow you away, and that Cindy helped find that for me, so thank you, Cindy, for that. I'm going to show that here in a couple minutes. So let's just go. Let's go to this footage here, and let's see what's going on. Let's see if we can figure something out. All right, let's play this bad boy.
Medevac, med service 056 on departure, turn right heading 290, runway 24, clear for takeoff, wind 25010.
All right, I'm just going to read this in case some of you are driving. January 31st, which was yesterday, 2025, Med Services Learjet 55, performing flight MTS 056, so we'll call it Flight 56, from Northeast Philadelphia to Springfield, was destroyed when it collided with terrain shortly after takeoff from runway 24. So according to this, it was destroyed when it collided with terrain. I would submit to you that it was destroyed in the air because it looked like a fireball by the time it hit the ground. So let's just put that on the shelf. If that was a plane, it was already destroyed before it hit the ground. Based on the doorbell footage, all the footage that we've seen, it was a fireball. I could pass a lie detector test and say, I swear that does not look like an airplane to me, sir. That looks like a meteorite. You're wrong. It's a plane. Can't you see the wings? No, I can't. Well, it's definitely a plane. I don't understand why you can't tell it's a Learjet. Don't you know? Was destroyed when it collided with terrain. Pilots had normally read back frequency change seconds before the impact. That's an interesting thing. All right, so let's just get into this.
Medevac med service 05.
So right out of the gate, this is from the tower, and he makes a mistake right out of the gate saying the name Medevac Med Services 056. So I'm going to give this guy a little bit of flexibility, because if you're constantly naming planes, maybe you've done this for years, maybe you're not used to the term medevac, so maybe you could stumble out of the gate, or perhaps this was your first or second take at reading your script, and maybe you don't actually work for the tower, maybe you don't actually work for the airport. So let's just back it up and let's just listen to the stumble once again. Again, I haven't heard this yet. This is my first time listening to this piece in its entirety. This is 4 minutes and 29 seconds, but I'm just going to, anytime something jumps in my head, I'm going to stop if something jumps out, okay? Let me just back up a bit.
Medevac med service 0.
Medevac. And okay, made a little stumble. It's okay. Give him the grace.
Medevac med service 056, contact Philly departure 123.8.
123.8, Mike Tango Sierra.
Okay, this guy has a severe accent. Don't know where he's from. Could be from Mexico. Could be Ukrainian. Could be Russian. Don't know who this guy is. Don't know yet. Somebody in the audience maybe can detect the accent, but right now we have a huge accent from whoever it is that is responding to the tower. And it just, I don't want to get into conspiracy here a little bit about who, if this is a Ukrainian or anything like this, or is this a rebroadcast so that we can feel good about what's going on and just say, oh, at least they got a transcription of this audio event, so this case closed. So let's just listen to this again here.
123.8, Mike Tango Sierra, 056 medevac. Thank you. Good day.
So right now, if you look at this, I believe, according to when we're watching the Black Hawk footage, I believe right now he is at either that's 200 feet or he's at 1,300 feet. So let's just go. Maybe I can get a little bearing on here.
Med Service 056 Philadelphia.
Looks like he's at 1,000 feet right now. 1,000 feet. So somehow he climbed to 1,000 feet in like seconds. Amazing. Is it possible? Yes. I would argue with you it's going to take 20 to 40 seconds to get to 3,000 feet. But we'll leave that for now. He's at 1,000 feet right now.
Med Service 056 Philadelphia.
And he's gone.
Medevac med service 056, Northeast Tower, contact Philly 123.8.
And now they're saying that's the plane right there that just crashed.
Med Service 056 Philly.
So they're trying to find this plane because obviously there's nothing left. But look at this fireball over here to the right.
Medevac med service Northeast Tower. Medevac med service 056, Northeast Tower. You on frequency?
So they still don't know. It's about 40 seconds now. They don't know that they lost a plane yet.
Medevac Mike Tango Sierra 056 Northeast Tower. How do you hear this train?
So then this person kicks in from the tower. Medevac 056 Northeast Tower. How do you hear this transmission? Oh boy. I don't know what to make of this. Does this mean the tower is intercepting another transmission from other people communicating? Perhaps a Russian spy, a Ukrainian, and someone else, a third party, a fourth party that are intercepting this to, I don't know. This is weird. This is a weird thing to ask. How do you hear this transmission? So when you read it, it looks like the person from the tower is asking flight 056, but then says Northeast Tower. How do you hear this transmission? So that's a little bit confusing to me.
Transmission.
Now we have the ground, Northeast Philly ground, Cherokee 6098 F, holding point runway 24, ready to pick up IFR clearance. So it says hold, so I think it's getting ready to take off.
Negative.
So negative, they're not allowed to clear. I'll just let it play.
Med Service 056 Philadelphia. Exit at 765. Cancel the approach clearance. Turn right heading 330.
Medevac Med Service 056 Northeast Tower.
So they're still calling for the plane. It's been like almost a minute and a half.
Exit at 765. It's going to be a minute at...
So XJack 765, it's going to be a minute at Northeast. They're having a little bit of an issue. I can offer you Philly International or Trenton if you need to get on the ground now-ish. So I think a plane's coming in to land. They're going to be a minute. They're having a little bit of an issue. Yeah, they lost a plane. It's not a little bit of an issue. So this is kind of weird right now.
Northeast, they're having a little bit of an issue. I can offer you Philly International or Trenton if you need to get on the ground now-ish.
Sounds weird to say this stuff, now-ish.
Exit at 765, Roger. Climb and maintain 3,000.
So now climb and maintain to 3,000. As we saw in our other footage, this seems to be a standard procedure whenever you lose a plane or a helicopter. If anybody is approaching to land at the airport, you climb to 3,000 feet and you just circle until further notice. I'm going to have to delay Vector U, as in telling them where to land. I don't want to get you into MVA territory. I don't want to get you. That's okay. I guess that's how they talk.
Exit at 765, Roger. Climb and maintain 3,000. I'm going to have to delay Vector U, and I just don't want to get into MVA territory. Med Service 056 Philadelphia.
Digit 765. And how much time before you have to divert somewhere else?
I've got an hour or more of, probably an hour anyway.
Okay, are you guys good with vectors, or you want me to put you somewhere in holding?
So the Philadelphia approach is asking, how much fuel do you have? Are you okay right now? And he's like, yeah, I got about an hour of fuel. So it's like, do you want me to guide you in somewhere else? Or do you want to go into holding 3,000 feet? What do you want?
Whatever works for you, we're fine either way.
Okay, I'm just going to vector you around for a little bit. If you need anything along the way, just let me know. Okay, expect further clearance. Let's call it 0013. If you don't hear anything before that, just advise, and I'll give you something prior to that, I'm sure.
Turkey 6098 Foxtrot Northeast Ground, Roger. Stand by one. I'll get back to you when I can.
The 765, like there might have been an accident near Northeast Philly Airport. They are closing the airport indefinitely. Let me know if you have any divert airport information or if you need anything else along the way.
Philly Northeast Ground, executive 765.
Chicks at 765 Northeast Ground, go ahead.
Approach to runway 24, what's going on down there?
Position 755, we have a lost aircraft. We're not exactly sure what happened, so we're trying to figure it out. For now, the field is going to be closed, so no inbounds or outbounds probably.
All right, I understand, thank you.
For 6098 Foxtrot, I'm sure you copied that, but for right now, we're gonna call the field closed. We'll try to get you out here when we can. If we can't, we'll have to take you over to Atlantic, but stand by for now.
All right, Roger, we'll stand by.
Okay. don't know if you guys learned anything there. Man, there's a lot of cleaning up to do at some of these airports. To me, this sounds like slang. Like it's so casual, like the wording and like, what do you want to do? Do you have any information as to where you want to go from here? Again, I'm not a pilot, but that feels sloppy to me. I don't know, it just feels sloppy to me. But it's been 2-3 minutes. They don't know that they lost an airplane. What am I missing here, folks? What am I missing here? It feels like with all the technology that we have, after 3.5 minutes, you don't know you lost a plane. Within 40 seconds of taking off, nobody can see. Like, how fast are these planes that can climb to 3,000 feet? And I feel like this transcription here is doctored a little bit. It feels edited. It feels choppy. It feels loose, almost like they're reading a script, like making it sound casual. It's just kind of, this is my humble opinion. So let's see here. My chest saw Steve Ram. Breaking news. Now China's preparing the underground bunkers, warning their citizens. Very normal, calm, Shane. Okay. Well, I appreciate you. You know what? I love Scott. I think he's one of my most loyal listeners, but I want to hear another I want to read another transcription that I found as well on the internet. You can say this is verifiable or not verifiable. I can't determine that, but it's one of the transcripts that is out here that came out about the same time as this video. So let's just go. I'll convert it to, like it says 1800 hours, but that's 6 o'clock, 6:05, 6:40. So I'm just going to read it to you. So this is the ATC transcript with time corrections. So at 6:05:40 Eastern, ATC, med service 056, northeast ground, you're cleared for taxi, runway 24, wind 280 at 12, altimeter 29.91, med service 56, taxi to runway 24, med service 56. So this is med service 56 saying taxi to runway 24, med service 56, just to let the tower know what's going on. Tower med service 56, hold short on runway 24 at Alpha. Med 56, holding short, med service 56. ATC, med service 56, cleared for takeoff. Notice how this person's calling them med service, not medvac, like that other person made a mistake. This person's saying med service 56. That sounds to me more fluent. If you're a professional, you got the code words down like this. Boom, boom, boom. Med service 56, hold short, runway 24 at Alpha, holding short, med 56. Med 56 cleared for takeoff, runway 24, maintain runway heading, climb to 3,000 feet, connect Philly, departure at 123.8. Med 56 cleared for takeoff, 3,000 feet, med service 56. So they're acknowledging that the airport is clearing them to get up to 3,000 feet. Aircraft accelerates for takeoff. So now we are at, that was at 05:40. So 20 minutes later, basically they're cleared at 6:17. Initial climb, estimate about 45 seconds after liftoff. Philly departure, ATC, med service 56, radar contact, climb and maintain 5,000 feet. Med service 56, climbing 5,000, med service 56, meaning it now reached 3,000 feet and it's now asking for permission to go to 5,000 feet. Or it's now receiving communication to climb to 5,000 feet, meaning it was at 3,000 feet. This is 45 seconds later, folks. At this point, the aircraft had successfully reached 3,000 feet and was cleared for 5,000 feet. Based on the Learjet's climb rate, it should have reached 5,000 feet within the next 30 seconds. So now we're at 06:35, Mayday call. Supposed to be 20 seconds after clearance to 5,000 feet. So they're at 3,000, and then they do the Mayday. Possible static noise in the background, warning alarms. Med Service 56, urgent. Med Service 56, we're losing altitude. Mayday, Mayday. Philly, ATC. Med Service 56, say again. At this point, it's indistinct. Possible background alarms are ringing. Philly, ATC. Med Service 56, you're losing altitude rapidly. Turn left, heading 180. Do you require emergency return? Med 56, static, garbled transmission. Philly, ATC. Med Service 56, Northeast Tower. Stay altitude. No response. 650. Med Service 56, Northeast Tower, are you on frequency? Med 56, radar contact lost. If you can hear me, squawk 7700. Other aircraft. Tower? Did a plane just go down? I see a fire near the boulevard. ATC, all aircraft, stand by. We have a lost aircraft. Airport operations report a large explosion near Roosevelt Mall, confirming a crash. Attention, this is ATC. Attention, all inbound traffic. Northeast Philly Airport is closed until further notice. Notice how bang, bang, bang they are. So the question, did the plane crash 40 seconds after takeoff? No. The plane did not crash within 40 seconds of takeoff. Instead, takeoff happened at 6:06 p.m. or at 6:06 p.m. Climbed to 3,000 feet, which took about 45 seconds. And then it was cleared to 5,000 feet. And then the Mayday happened after it was cleared from 3,000 to 5,000, over 1 minute after takeoff. Radar contact lost at 6:06:50 p.m. Crash confirmed 6:07:10 p.m., approximately 70 seconds after the takeoff. 70 seconds. The Learjet did not crash within 40 seconds. It successfully reached 3,000 feet. It was cleared for 5,000 feet and began climbing before losing control. The crash happened approximately 70 to 75 seconds after takeoff. This suggests a rapid catastrophic event, possibly a stall, mechanical failure, or severe turbulence, causing an unrecoverable, I should say, descent. So that's what I have. Based on that, what do you think is going on? Do you believe that transcript? Or do you believe that the one that we just watched, where it seemed like it was a little bit loosey-goosey? It felt weird. This felt like legit transcript. This is like code. These guys are on it right away. It's very factual. There's no guessing. There's no playing around here. Whatever we listened to was another group of people, and it felt weird. Even the pilot itself had an accent. I don't want to say it was a Russian accent, because that'd be weird, right? Or a Ukrainian accent, because that'd be weird. But did that give you the same impression when I just read that transcript compared to the one that we just listened to? That's the question. That's the question. Looked like a missile too, didn't it? All right. Trump is the Antichrist. We have about 5 months. Interesting, right? Zero way to verify any of what they tell us. That's the hard part. Coded messages possibly of what the SB could be in for. Let's see here. How can it go that fast? Let's see. I find it odd that Chiefs and Eagles are playing and the planes were Kansas and Philly. I did not know that. That's crazy interesting. The Shriners Hospital controls all that info, and the plane was all Mexican. Too much plausible deniability, no way to verify. So is that a Mexican accident I heard? Felt like it was Russian. Sounded like it was Russian, but I'm not sure. Kind of a catapult shot. Yeah, maybe launch and then bam. But again, they're saying it crashed after 40 seconds. They're the ones with the tall hats, maroon and yellow. I think so. Let's see here. Can you send me a link to where you found the transcript? Yep, I'll do that. I'll send you an email when I'm done this show. Setup of AI reported on hurting humidity. What is that? Let's see here. These were accidental, skeptical, then DE's definitely on the hook for gross negligence. Let's see. Part of the Messianic order. All this plane stuff is so bizarre. Maybe the airline industry has been compromised and it's all tainted. Would they tell us if it was a bomb? No. Time to tell. Or the Raptor, LOL. It's weird, right? Yes, they're a special unit of the 33 Freemasons who drive the little carties for kitties. They love the kitties. Rapture. Let's see what else we got. Skulls and bones. A lot of Mason stuff happening here. Someone said medical alert was given, which is given for 1,000 or more casualties. True or not, that's kind of weird, right? Okay, let's go to the footage now. I think that's why we're here, right? Is to look at the footage. Enough playing around with transcripts. Let me just have a look here. Let me just pull this up here. Let me pull this up. Let's have a look here. Let's have a look at, I think, which one's a good one to see? I think this one's a good one to see here. Okay, let's have a look. I wish I can loop this. I don't think I can loop it, but we'll play it. We'll play it a few times, okay? So let's have a look, and then I want you to have the mindset that this is a plane. You guys got to get it out of your head that your eyes are telling you that this is a ball of fire. It looks like a ballistic missile from an Iranian with one of those man pads. You got to get that out of your system because your eyes are trying to fool you. All right, let's go. Let's watch this footage here. Let us watch. Let's have a look here. Okay, this is Cindy sent me this. This is kind of interesting. It's only 6 seconds, so let's just watch it a few times. I want to make sure you guys can see this before I comment. We'll watch it a couple times, and then I'll share my thoughts. Play it again. Notice it coming in. Arcing. One more time, please. But if that doesn't look like a missile, I don't know what does anymore. I really don't. We're going to slow it down to half. Let's play it again. Such an explosion. There was a little flicker there. I don't know what that was. Back it up here. Right? Somewhere on the plane, but I don't know if that's a spark or what. Right there. Some kind of a spark. I don't know what that is. Arcing. Possible. It's possible from that angle. Possible could be a plane. Seems so bizarre right there. A little flicker, spark, something going on. Bam. Again, you can't see wings or anything from that angle. All right, let's go to this next footage here. Right here. This is what it looks like today. You tell me if that was a plane crash. I'm going to get rid of the music so I don't get a strike. So this is Philly. Very hard to see the crater from that angle, but lots of cars on fire. Right there. There's your crater. Now, does that look like a plane crash to you with that amount of damage? Would you look at that crater and go, yeah, that's definitely what a plane crash would look like? It's bizarre, man. Look at that hole. And then look at all this debris. Like I noticed last night in last night's footage, people running away from these cars, running out of these parking lots that were on fire back to the neighborhood. And when I looked at it, I'm like, you guys are suspicious. Like, why are you running away from these fires unless you started these fires? Because it doesn't make any sense to me why these cars are on fire. And there were cars all over that neighborhood that were on fire. And that seems weird that would happen. Now, again, that explosion was massive. I'm not denying that radius for sure. But if there's cars outside of that radius of that explosion that are on fire, I'm saying arson. So crazy. It's hard to see where the crater is from there. So let's just play it again here. Looks like it's right in the middle there somewhere. That would be kind of a guess as to where that crater would be. I've never been to the city. Where they're reversing the angle, so sometimes it's hard to see. So here, okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4 cars against the building over there. These 2 cars here. 5, what do we got? 6, 7 cars. Okay, so if it landed in that facility, I don't have a problem with the idea that these cars are going to go up in flames because there was massive heat. I find it tough to tell where the crater is. It kind of seemed like it's right in the middle there. Maybe the right. On the right side, I don't know if you can see where my mouse is. Could that be the crater there? Hard to see from this angle. It's like a reverse angle or something. I can't find the crater. Or is it here? Because look at all the white suppressant or whatever that they use, most likely from the fire trucks. Hard to tell. Again, reverse angle. Trying to look in the parking lot to see. Feels like this happened on the street somewhere. Just not sure where. More of that. I wish they would pan the camera to the crater. And there's a strip there, so there's the road. Looks like there's a parking lot or something there. So that crater, there's no plane, and you can't tell me if they're under investigation. If they're investigating this area, you can't tell me that they cleaned up the debris last night. There's no plane here, folks. There's no plane. Where'd the plane go? I see pieces. I see more hints of an explosion, of a bomb going off, but I don't see a plane here. Look at that impact. It should be skid rows of the plane. Unless you're telling me the entire plane went inside that little hole and there's nobody left. It's disintegrated. There's no pilot, there's no co-pilot, there's no 2 medical doctors, there's nothing. around here. Are you telling me they cleaned it up first before they got the news helicopters in? And remember, last night, they told all news helicopters an hour before this accident to stay down. No helicopters in this area because poor weather conditions. You know, I'm not the best at adding up things, but that's not adding up to me. Sorry, it ain't adding up to me. Something's weird about that. Unless you could tell me that, oh no, Shane, it takes less than 6 hours to clean up a Lear jet with all the bodies and everything. Like you're crazy, Shane, for saying that this is an impact by a missile because you think there's no plane there, and just because you don't see a plane in the missile, you're confusing things. You're confusing plane with missile. You're confusing crater with, you think there should be a plane in that crater, but they removed it. It's gone. It's cleaned up. So bizarre, man. I know I am a little crazy today, but this stuff is just weird. Don't you find it weird? Has there been any other plane crashes that created this big of a crater? That's a good question. I know Flight 93 created a crater. Let me see if I can have a look at that one. That one was forced down by Todd Beamer and his friends, allegedly. Let's see. Flight 93 peaks. Again, remember, they didn't let anybody there either. So let's see what it looked like. Let's just have a look here. Let's see. This one would be, I think this would be the best. Just have a look here. Let's have a look here. Okay, so we're going to have a look at the crater that Flight 70 or Flight 93, I think it was, left behind. So you tell me if that matches this one. That's the crater from Flight 93. What do you guys think? Do you see a plane there or disintegration? Because again, remember, I don't know if it was Fox or some news outlet said that plane was shot down first by military aircraft, and then the ticker started changing, and then it said, no, ladies and gentlemen, do not think that. Stop thinking that this plane got shot down, even though we said it. It did not get shot down. It was forced down. We have phone transcripts available for you if you need them. We can tell you. And it was weird. I listened to some of it. It's kind of weird as well. But I don't want to disrespect the family or anything like this. I'm just like, look at this. This plane disintegrated. So now you have an argument. You can say, okay, look, Shane, plane disintegrated here. Lear jet from last night disintegrated as well. Case closed. Unless this was shot by a missile as well. Then it's not case closed. Shanksville, no plane in there. Interesting, right? Like you should expect wheels, parts, bodies, all kinds of stuff. Nothing there. Nothing to see here, folks. So that's why it's kind of bizarre. Let's see here. See if I have something else here. That won't show me anything there. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find some other pictures. Let's see. Let's find something with plane, like on Flight 93. Let's see here. Here's some plane footage right here. Let me in. There we go. Here's some plane footage. They say this is Flight 93, so let's just have a look at it. Right here, there's your wing, there's your parts, plane, all this kind of stuff. That looks a little bit different than what I was looking at before, but there's your plane. There's everything there. There's the debris spread out, all this kind of stuff. So let's see. At 10:03, Flight 93 crashes at 538 miles an hour due to fighting in the cockpit, 80 miles southeast of Pittsburgh, Somerset County. Later reports indicate that the passengers had learned about the World Trade Center and the Pentagon crashes on cell phones, and at least 3 were planning on resisting the hijacker. The resistance was confirmed by Flight 93's cockpit voice recording, on which the hijackers are heard making their decision to down the plane before the passengers succeed in breaching the cockpit door. The target of Flight 93 is the U.S. Capitol building. So the terrorists are inside the plane, inside the cockpit, and they're like, what do you want to do? Do you want to take this plane down or no? Like while it's being recorded, everything is being recorded. What do you guys want to do? It's bizarre, right? It's bizarre, but hey, think what you want. That whole day was chaos, and that changed the world of aviation almost overnight. And then now we have this stuff going on here, and it feels like with digital manipulation, AI, artificial intelligence, deep fake, all this stuff, we may never get to the bottom of any of these crashes. And eventually it could get to a point where you're going to be like, if there's another plane crash tonight, I am not flying anywhere. And you know what? My son, my daughter, and their son is actually flying out to Calgary at the end of February. So don't think a person's going to get less nervous if you start seeing more planes crashing. This could be it. Like today, this could be it, and there won't be any more crashes for another 15 or 20 years. My suspect is because everyone is on high alert, you're actually going to start to get an understanding of how many plane crashes there are every single day, because this seems to be a hit with news outlets as well to have this kind of conversations, but they never wrap anything up. It's let's just move to the next crash. So if there's a crash tonight, you're probably going to see me talking about it sometime as well. It feels weird, right? That there's more crashes. I've never talked about so many crashes, like 2 in 2 days. Please tell me there's not going to be another crash today. Please tell me that, because this is actually distracting North Americans from bigger things, perhaps to come. I don't know. But when you're focused on this, what are you missing then? That's the question, right? All right. So, yeah. And think about it. Where's the Super Bowl? The Super Bowl. Where is it? Where's the Super Bowl this year? It's not Pennsylvania, is it? Is it in Pennsylvania? The Super Bowl? New Orleans, right. So at the site of where that guy smoked all those people, don't forget about that. Is the investigation closed on that? Is the investigation closed on the Cybertruck? Is the investigation closed on the Black Swan helicopter that smashed into an airplane? Are those all closed cases because now we, the people, are actually moving on to other things? It's weird, right? Yeah, and then nobody's talking about the fires anymore. Is there fires in California, or is that it? Like there's no more fires in California, or what? Ever since they burnt up all the Diddy list, seems like nothing to see here, folks, in California. Move over to somewhere else. Go talk about something else. And then in the opposite end of the country, you have Philadelphia and Washington, D.C., and all this stuff going on, the inauguration, all this. And it's like, man, nobody's paying attention to California now. Heaven forbid if we talk about Israel. We're so distracted right now. It's crazy, man. Florida's on fire now. Crazy. All right, let's see here. I know we started the year off with a bang. Like, it was crazy, man. People crashing in people in cars, a person in cars smashing into a parade of people, basically. On New Year's Day, Cybertruck explosion, and we're off to the races. Like, it's crazy, man. All right, so that's it for today's video. If you guys have more stuff, more goodies for me, let me know in this email right here, Black Swan 2022. I may not respond to your emails right away because I'm going to go out with my wife for a little bit. We're going to go get groceries and stuff. And tomorrow, we're going to be talking on Rev 5 about the rapture. What are our thoughts about the rapture right now? Like, are we very close to the rapture? And it feels like it with all the craziness that's going on. That's going to be tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. And then after that, at 6 o'clock, we're going to have a panel of women talking about how to be bridal ready and how to be prepared to look for that blessed hope, that great appearance of Jesus Christ himself. So that's going to be fun. My sister's hosting it with Amy, and there's going to be a few other gals on there as well. So it's going to be a fun time. That's at 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. So go to my channel, make sure and subscribe to this channel, and comment, all that kind of stuff. And we'll see you tomorrow in another video, Lord willing, unless we're in the air. Of course, I will see you guys in the air. See you later. Bye for now.